Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching us from today. Welcome back to another live discussion with us. So, today we are going to talk about what is the importance of having a side hustle. Why is it so important to have a side hustle? So, like imagine you are a six-figure earner. So, people say that I'm already earning six figures. Why should I start another thing? Right? So, the question we ask is what if you stopped working today? Right? How long can you sustain your same lifestyle without stress? So you stopped working today, you are earning well. What if you stop working today and from tomorrow you have to sustain the same lifestyle, whatever lifestyle you have now? You have your car mortgage, you have your home loan, you have to help with your child's education, all those stress. So how long can you actually sustain without having an income, right? So that's the main question we have, right? So yeah, we'll talk more about having a side income today. So shall we start with Ruchika? Ruchika, what is your experience, Ruchika?
Hi everyone, my name is Ruchika. I'm a family physician working in Calgary. For those who don't know me, so I started the digital business. I have a very stable income, and I started the digital business for time freedom that I have mentioned in the past too. So I have a question for you. Do you just want to have a earning, or do you want to build a wealth or a legacy? If you just want to do 9 to 5 job and have some income and just sustain yourself, that's one option. Or if you want to build a legacy or a wealth, then you have to do something extra. I am a business owner. Like I have my own clinic in Calgary. I'm also working as a physician. We have multiple businesses. We used to have Airbnb in the past, so we used to manage that. I had a skin clinic, which I used to manage. So I know a lot of people in my social circle. Most of them are physicians or business owners, and they just don't depend on one income. They always try. Those people are always looking into some ideas to do some extra business or some extra side hustle. I had a doctor who said this to me. He had multiple businesses. He's a cardiologist here. And he said, sow multiple seeds. And who knows, one of that plant may become a tree. So he believed in having, like, he's a very well-known cardiologist here, but he has multiple different kind of businesses. People own restaurants or, as I said, Airbnbs. They'll buy something and put it on lease. Most of these people whom I know and who are in my circle, they just don't depend on um, one source of income, and they are all high earners. They are 5 6 figures they are earning every month. So that's what I have to tell today.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for that, Ruchika. And like you said, um, so multiple seeds, right? That's really powerful. Why should you depend on just one seed, right? So you plant one seed, wait for 5 years, and if it doesn't grow, then you are left with nothing. So yeah, so multiple seeds, and if everything grows, you have more, right? So that's a good one. Thank you for that, Ruchika. So yeah, so shall we start with Nandini again? Nandini, what is your experience?
So I lived the high life, traveling first class all over the world, 3, 4 times a year, living in mansions, Jabel Ali in the best of hotels, and offering the best to my two children. I was a model, and then I was a life coach and a well-being mentor. I did a few acting roles, and I didn't even think twice about buying something or going to the best restaurant, enjoying myself with my friends, my kids, throwing the best parties, birthday parties for them. And I did have savings, not that I didn't, but I didn't sow those multiple seeds that Ruchika was talking about. And one fine day, tree that I had sown, that one seed, just came to a grinding halt, and that was it. You know, Warren Buffett, the seventh richest man in the world, he's worth some $149 billion. He said that it's foolish not to have a multiple stream of income, exactly like what Ruchika said. The rich know how to make money work for them. It's the foolish person who will not know this and just sow that one seed. And as for a job, you're always working for the boss up there. You're giving your time, your blood, your sweat, and your tears for somebody else. So you might as well have a multiple stream of income. And I think all of us as digital business owners today are doing that. And that is the smartest thing we've ever done. Because let's face it, today AI, automation, in 1999, automation started just taking over, and the cost of automation has gone down by 200%. Whereas the cost of labor, manual labor, like for example, I'll be hired for the job, I will charge 200% more. Sorry, it's the other way around. My cost has gone up 200% and the automation has gone down by 50%. So then why would somebody hire me when they can replace me with a machine? So I might as well then have multiple streams of income. So thank you, Kavya. That's all I have to say today. I love that, her Ruchika. So multiple. I will
Yeah,
not.
seriously. Yeah, thank you, Nandini. Yeah, like you said, right? Like it's really important to have, and like you said, the automation cost has reduced now, so people can opt for automation more than opting for a human employee, right? Like it's really. And I was saying this also. I just saw a video yesterday saying the employee now we have there's something called virtual employees where they've the cost of them, and they don't go for coffee breaks or lunch breaks like us, right? So they don't even go out for anything, they don't need a break, so they can work non-stop, not like humans, right? So actually people like the company owners can opt for them more than opting for a human labor, right? So that's the main thing. So the cost of AI has reduced and the cost of paying for the human labor has increased, so people will always opt for AI is what I also think.
Can I also
So
add, Kavya, on what you're just saying? So we used to have cleaners regularly in the house once a week, and my husband bought those robots, one for upstairs and one for downstairs. So
yeah,
our cost has reduced, like our cost has reduced for cleaners
yeah,
because we did one-time investment and it's done.
yeah,
So I think
yeah,
that's another example, like a machine who is doing, and even Elon Musk has introduced a robot who can do
correct,
work.
yeah,
So this is all coming, and this will come in multiple ways.
yeah. And even the cost of nursing and everything, right? So you can have a robot in place of a nurse now, right? Even in restaurants there are robots replacing
Yes.
the all these, right? So everything is being replaced. So what is your next plan, right? So let's ask Vimal, what is your experience?
Yeah, lovely points from all of you guys. So, I mean, I loved what Ruchika also said. You have to sow multiple seeds because you don't know which one is going to become a tree. So, sow multiple seeds, right? And one of the biggest myths that I think people have when working in a high-paying job, right? And I know this because I've been there personally, right? So you think that your job is secure, right? And the funny thing is, I read a funny quote which says that your job is secure until it isn't. So you think that it's secure until it suddenly isn't, right? Layoffs, AI, cost cutting. So none of these are in your control. And your entire income, if it comes from one source, right, you're actually at maximum risk, right? So that's one of the biggest myths that I've seen. If you talk to people, they say that, yeah, my job is secure. Now people are a little afraid because they can see, the power of AI and how it's replacing workforces, right? Companies, you as an employee are just a cost to your company, right? So if there is any way that the company can reduce cost, they will go for it. And they're not wrong to do it, right? Because that's what, even if you were running your own company, you'd do the same thing. You'd try to cut costs as far as you can, right? So that's one of the things that I keep hearing almost all the time. right? And then, when you talk to folks further, one of the biggest objections that they have is that, I really don't have the time for a side hustle. Right? So what I tell them is that, you have time, you're just spending it wrong. So
Yeah.
you're binge watching shows or scrolling through social media, or even sometimes working overtime for your boss. It isn't lack of time, it is misplaced priorities. So I tell them that, you've got time, you should reclaim maybe 5 to 10 hours in a week, and then you can set up an income stream, and that can really change your life. So these are some of the myths that I come across on a regular basis.
Awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you for that, Vimal. So like you said, there are many people who say I don't have time, right? So like you said, priority matters again. So what do you really want to do with your life, right? So if you don't have the time, that's the main reason you have to start something on the side, because you can't. Are you planning to work like this without having time for your family, for yourself, for the rest of your life, or do you want to do something about it? What is your plan? Right, so what is your, maybe from 5 years from now, do you see yourself doing the same thing, working overtime? You do not have time for your family, you can't go for your children's school events, nothing, you still do the same thing after 5 years? Or do you plan to start something now on the side when you have your job, and then maybe replace your job with this? Or maybe just do your job whenever you can, right? You have your control. Then if you don't want to go for another shift, you don't have to, because you already have another stream of income coming, right? So that's
Exactly.
that's what you how you plan, is what I feel. So yeah,
Exactly.
thank you for that, Vimal. So let's go with Deepti. So Deepti, please share your experience.
Sure. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. This is Dipti. I'll tell you why the side hustle is so important in our life. Um, because we need to have a backup plan. As we all know, job market are so unstable these days. Um, like I have seen so many people, uh, they are getting stressed while they are getting laid off. Many people they are living paycheck to paycheck. It's very difficult to manage with one paycheck. I'll share one incident. One of my close friend, he lived in USA. He's doing great. Like he has own house, he has own car. He's working in corporate office. One day when he went office and he got a letter said he got laid off, he was shocked. He was like literally blind. Like he was upset, and he's the only one. He's taking care of his family. He has old aging parents. He has kids. He was like he didn't have any other source, because he didn't start
Plan.
saving. So that's why we need to have some backup plan. We have to need, like, we don't know, like, when tomorrow happen, right? And even he bought a house. So he bought a house, he has a car, he has to pay monthly expenses, right? He has to pay month to month, monthly mortgage, installment for a car. So it's very difficult to survive with the one job. For
Yeah.
me, like, I have a pharmacy, but I don't know what happened tomorrow, right? So I have to, like, I don't rely on my one job. If I'm, and I don't have a I don't want to go out, because I don't want to losing my time freedom, right? I don't want to sacrifice my kids time. So that's why we need to have a side hustle. We need to have a backup plan. And that's why I came across this opportunity. In this business gives me so much flexibility. I can work whenever, however I work. uh, this business makes me, like, gives me so much financial security. So, like, that's why I like this business, because I don't have to think much. I have, like, I'm doing, like, few months. I starting up few months before, and now I'm slowly build it up. So, whenever I need it, like, I have some source, I have some extra income. So that's why we need to have some plan B.
Awesome.
That's all.
Thank you for that, Dipti. And I can relate with you so much when when you say that, right? Like, we've experienced that firsthand, right? Like Nelson and I, we were in Germany when we started this business, and I started this business in 2019, but Nelson lost his job in 2022 or 23. So it was already 4 to 5 years of me doing this business, and we had already built our business strong, right? We were getting a very good income out of this business, like apart from what he was earning. So when he lost his job, we were not at all in any pressure, right? So we were actually, like, Nelson was planning to quit his job anyway, because our business was running like well already. So when he lost his job, we just called all our friends and we said, like, yeah, I got an email saying like I've lost my job and everything. So that was how easy we took that. But not everybody can take that so easily, right? In the same company, in same Nelson's company, it's a very good, well-known e-commerce company in US. So it's like, you have to be prepared. So you have to start before you're ready, right? Like now, the Deepti said that she already has a pharmacy job, so or a business. So even then, she is starting something on the side, because it is just that she's starting before she's ready, right? So she doesn't have to wait for something to happen and then start something on the side. So you should have something on the side, is what we feel. And the job thing, especially if you're an immigrant, the pressure will be more, right? When the job is gone, there are people in Nelson's company who had just gotten promoted. Like 2 months ago, they were promoted, and then they lost their job after 2 months. So when they were promoted, they invested on house and everything, because you feel that you're earning more, so you can invest on a house, buy a house on mortgage, and start, right? So you feel that, okay, I have this much extra coming, so I can put this on a mortgage. But imagine that situation, if you don't have a job after 2 months, you've got all your commitments done, and you don't have a job tomorrow. So this is what I started with, right? So you have your mortgage, you have your loan, and what is your plan if you don't have the current job you have? Do you have a backup plan, right? That's what you have to think of, right? So start something when you feel you are already secure. You don't need anything now. That is when you have to start, not when you feel you need something. Right? That will be already late. But again, start whenever you get an opportunity. Start before you're ready. That's what we say. So Praveen, do you want to share your experience, Praveen?
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. So I'm Praveen. I live in US with my family. As most of the points are already spoken, I'll try to give a live example happen in my life and then happened in others' life. So first thing, as I mentioned, we live in US with my family. So we are a family of four. So and we have our own standard of living as everyone. So we were in Australia and then we moved to US. The first thing that we don't want to sacrifice is our standard of living. So we are used to like 4 bedroom house and then 2 cars and all those things. So we don't want to give up that lifestyle. So consider if I lose my job or if my wife want to stay at be like a stay at home mom, then I need to replace that income with something else. If not, then I need to drop down my standard of living, which I don't want to give it to my family. So having that second source of income or the side hustle will help us to maintain that lifestyle. So for everyone, we need to improve our lifestyle. So that would be the dream of every father and every parent. So having that side hustle will always help us to maintain and also help us to improve the standard of living that we actually live. And coming to the job security, so I'm working for a company for almost 15 years now. So in 15 years, I had been made redundant 3 times. But fortunately, or is like a blessing, I was called back after 2 or 3 days, and then after 1 week, I was called for a different role back because I don't know, something like they like my performance, or I'm not sure, but they called me back. So when that happened, so I was thinking in my mind that so until I get my new job, other job, I need to go and do something else, like working in a petrol station or working in as a Uber driver. So those are all the thoughts that running in my mind. So I was really demotivated. I don't want to be like a bad example for my kids. I was trying to hide everything from my family. So that's really a difficult situation. See, job security in today's world, no one can guarantee. So no one can tell that our job is secure because you might love the company, you might love your job, but you don't know when the company will stop loving you. So we can't make a judgment that without you the company cannot run. So they can easily replace you within a second. So anyone can replace. Instead of paying you high, they can hire a graduate fresh from the college, and then they can train like 3 or 4 months, and then they will be able to do the same job that you're doing. So in previous days, yeah, I agree that people like the corporate companies, they want to hold the employees who are really competent. But today, with the technology, with all the automation and AI, so that's gone. So your expertise can be replaced by the technology and then AI. So you are not really important. So in that way, so we need to have that again, the second source of income or the side hustle will always help us. And people think like I'm really busy in my job. I feel that in the next 2 or 3 years, my job is secured, so I will do it later. So I'll give you a real example that happened last week in my company. So there was a project manager. He was running the project. He's a key person. And 3 p.m. we had a call, and he was running that call. So we had a meeting for around half an hour, 3:30, and then he was taking all the action item and everything. 3:45, we are getting an email that that was his last day. So within 15 minutes, I don't know what happened. They made him, they laid off him. So things can happen within a minute. So even if you think like your job is secured for 3 or 4 years, when recession hit or when the market goes down, so the first thing the company will think of is how many people we can lay off. That's a easy cost cutting they can do to secure their profit. So we need to keep that in mind. And the other thing is, so if you're in US, you might know about this credit score. So if you want to go and have a loan for anything, you need to have that credit score. So we were when we came new, we were na- trying to buy a car, and then they were like old couple, maybe in their 65 plus. So they were looking really sad. And then I had a conversation with them, and then they were saying like they were in a very really good position. So they were both were working for a corporate company with a high paid income. So they were able to afford everything by cash. They never had a loan in their life. At the age of 65, they are trying to buy a car for their son. Since they didn't have that credit score, they are not able to get that loan, and they are not able to afford at that age. They are not able to afford to buy a car with a cash because they are on a pension, and then they need to save that pension and submit up to that money so that they can cash out that car. So when you have a side hustle, that income will be keep coming in, and then even at your age of 65 or 70, you will be able to buy everything by cash. You don't have to wait to get a loan or anything. And the bottom line here is the side hustle is not just making money. It is actually financial freedom. It will give you the time freedom. It will give you the life that you want to live. It will give you the education, the best education that you want to give to your kids. So it will give you a life without any debts. It will give you the life that you really want to enjoy. And other thing is, most of us have sacrificed our passion to come into this job. So we might be wanting to do something else when we were studying, but since we need to take care of the family, we might end up in doing some job. But if you have this side hustle, and if you are able to replace your main income with this side hustle, you can go back to your passion and then enjoy it. So these are all the things that can happen if you have a side hustle. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Praveen. So yeah, very good points out there, Praveen. So yeah, you all have I hope you have got some points about why you need a side hustle, right? And many people they're like they think business is risky, right? So they feel that okay, let me be in the job, I'm getting good income now, let me save the money out of that and let's not start anything new. Why to waste the money that I already have, right? What if it doesn't work? So it is risky. So again, it comes back to the same thing, right? Like you have a job now and you think that okay, I can work till my 60s 67 until I retire. So is that not a risk you're taking? You are depending just on one job, and if you lose that job, that's everything that you've thought is secure is gone, right? And then you start something. So starting a business is not risky depending on one job or one source of income in this time, right? That is the most risk that you're taking, right? And we are not asking you, like, if you're not that confident, you don't have to invest like 100,000 200,000 or even more, right? Businesses now take more than $200,000, I'm sure, if you want to start a good business. So here this, like, that is why you have to look for options which can help you start at lesser investment, right? So if you can't take a huge risk, I know, like, there are people with families, they have children, they have to look after the children, everything, so you might not be able to take a huge risk now, but start with whatever you can, right? Because you don't have the surety of your job. Like, don't depend on a job. Like, people who are in already debt now, they think that, no, I don't have money to invest on a business now, right? But what is your plan? You are already in a debt, so what is your plan to escape that debt? Is it another loan that you have to take to pay off the one loan that you have? Do you plan to have another extra mini loans to pay off each loan, or do you plan to do something different to generate extra income rather than going for loan always, right? So what is your plan? If you are in debt, that's another reason you have to start a business. If you don't have time, that's another reason you have to start a business of your own, because you need your time back. You can't be in the same situation forever, right? You can't be in debt forever till we die, right? You have to come out of it. So don't just keep adding extra loans to it just to escape that the other loan. It's like, if you have a headache and you don't know the root cause of headache, you're just taking painkillers, right? Just to suppress that pain. That's all. You're not actually solving the issue there, right? So what is your plan to change your situation? Starting a business is the best option, is the only option you have. But starting a business, you'll have to think of what kind of business which can give you flexibility, right? So all those, like, when you're starting a business, traditional businesses versus online business, always online business is better. We have discussed this many times also. Like, the investment is low, your flexibility will be more, you can be at your home, you can travel and still do the business. So the risk you're taking is very low because the investment is low. So all these are different factors. So starting a business is always better for financial freedom. And when you're looking at the business, what kind of business you start will also give you time freedom, right? Starting a business will not allow you to get time freedom for sure. You can get financial freedom, but not time freedom. So what is your plan? So think of it. And we also have Saptashi. Saptashi, do you want to add something? Any more points?
Hi everyone, hi Kavya. So I just wanted to add that so I am also in the IT industry for the last 7 years, and currently, as you all are aware, Chat GPT and so many automations have come, right? And with the advent of Chat GPT and all, like we have we are facing so many layoffs currently, right? Because what employees can do, the machines can do at an instant, right? And on top of that, there is no cost to keep machines, right? There is a cost to give employees. You need to give salary and all. And I wanted to add another thing that Robert Kiyosaki, in his book Rich Dad Poor Dad, has rightly said that you should have multiple streams of income. And the rich don't work for money; they make money work for them. Most people work for money, trading their time, but the rich don't do that. They make the money work for them. So they invest in various assets that generate passive income. So these assets grow in value over time. So he's not talking about in random assets, right? He's talking about the assets which generate passive income. So those are the types of assets. So I just wanted to add my final point here that suppose you are an employee and you think that, okay, if I switch multiple jobs or if I stay in a company for a long time, I can make a good amount of money. But the truth is that if you are already at a high income after you have switched multiple jobs, then you might you then since the company is paying you much more amount, then you have to face much more work pressure, no work life balance, no family time, no peace of mind, right? Because the company is paying you much more compared to others. So the company will expect you to work much more or invest much more time, right? And in case any recession comes, then you are the first, since the company is paying you much more, then you are the first to get laid off, right? Because you are a cost to the company. And even if you are top performer, this is applicable for you. So, and even if you do a traditional business, okay, there is like there are so many things you need to take care of, like high startup cost, overhead cost, and you can only do in your specified location, unlike an online business where you can reach globally. So that's what I have, Kavya. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Saptarshi. Great points. Like you said, the more, the higher level you are at, the more work pressure you have, the less time you have, right? So you feel that, okay, when I become a manager, I'll get more. More, maybe you can get more income, but you will not get more time. You will be getting less time with your family. And why are you earning, right? And another point, Saptarshi, was like, another thing is like, if you're earning more, if you're at the higher level, you will be the first one to be considered when there is a layoff, right? Because you are getting paid more. So yeah, that's great, Saptarshi. Thank you for that. So does anybody else wants to add anything extra? No. So another thing, yeah, Vimal, do you wanted to say something? Okay. So what I was telling is another point is like when, especially for again high earners, right? So I have faced this in Germany that we used to pay like 40% tax, right? So people who are earning more, if your salary is more, you pay more, right? So what is your plan to save more money? Like if there is a way for you to save more money than paying it to your government, would you take that option, right? This is another very good option where you can actually save a lot money. Like you can whatever you're spending, what you're traveling, all those can be shown as an expense in this business, right? When you start an online business, especially not the traditional business maybe, but when you're starting an online business, you can show a lot of your expense as your business expense, right? And those are business expenses actually. So people who are actually earning well can actually save a lot more with your tax refunds, right? So that's another option you can also look for, right? If you don't find any other option, see if you can at least save money, right? And like Praveen also said now, you and Saptarshi, so you're thinking of saving your money. You think that, okay, I'm at a higher position now, let me save my money rather than investing on it on something and losing the money, right? So you're investing very less. That's first thing. And with, if you're just saving your money without investing it on anything, right, so the value of your money will be reduced, right? It will be lessened. So after you saved like $5,000 now, and in the next 5 years your $5,000 will not give you the same amount of things, or whatever you want to buy from those $5,000, you'll not get the same thing because of inflation, right? It's not the same value anymore. So what are you doing with your money? Are you investing it on something and multiplying your money, or you're just keeping it safe, right? That's another thing you have to think of. If you're earning well, and if you think that I'll save it for my retirement, I'll save my money, I'll start using it after I retire, your lifestyle is completely different now, and the lifestyle you'll have after you're retired will be completely different, because you have to like adjust with whatever money you have. Right? Yeah, so that's another thing you have to think of. So yeah, so those are the points we have. Vimal, you want to add anything?
No, nothing. I just want to say, so, a lot of us procrastinate and we think that we'll do it later. Or
Yeah.
I'll start the business. I want to start a business, or I want to start investing, but I'll do it later. And that later, what it actually means is that it's never, right?
Yeah.
You're never going to do it, right? So, the way I tell people is that your future self will either love you and thank you or hate you. It all depends on the choice you're making now. People who have started, years before are now generating decent income. So if you think that, okay, let me start, the more you wait, the more you're, losing out on all those earnings. So that's what I say to people who tell me that, okay, I want to do it, but I'll do it later.
Yeah, all comes back to, again, like what is your priority now, right? Like you still think that you're okay. You many people, especially people who are in the medical field, right, they have a very hectic because I've dealt with a lot of people who are nurses and doctors now coming in. They go on shifts, like they go on night shifts, and many people already have medical issues with them, right? So Ruchika, you might already know about all these things, right? So there are many nurses who come saying like, I have shoulder pain already, so I can't work more, right? there are people in the medical industry especially who have worked already, like even they are in their 30, 35, or like within late 30s or in the early 40s, and they already have a lot of health issues. So if they had come across this business maybe 10 years ago, they would have thought, no, I have my very good job, like paying job now, let me continue. So after 10 years they think that, okay, I should have started this before itself, so that I wouldn't be in this situation now, right? So there are many people who are not able to go back to their job because of health issues, right? You never know what happens, your future holds for you, right? Again, Nandini's example, right? So she lived a very good life, and she's shared it with all of us many times. Like she said, she had a very good life. She was a model, and she lived a life like where she bought anything that she wanted, right? But then suddenly something changed, and that too in her 60s. So would you think that everything will be fine, and in your 60s you will lose your financial stability? Many would have not imagined, right? So that's another example you have to take from us, right? So no matter how secure you feel, having a multiple stream of income is always the best option. It's not an option for you, right? Having multiple stream of income is a necessity in this era, right? This time. So that's what I would like to stop with, right? So end the session with. So give it a thought. Go over this session if you want again, and think what is your reason to start, right? So yeah, that's about it. We'll catch up again with another new topic tomorrow. All of you, thank you for joining, everyone, and thank you for
Thank you.
watching. So yeah, we'll connect again tomorrow.
Bye.
Thank you.